Good morning, good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Toby Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. It is Friday Fun Day. We have Adam Russell with Community Bank and CSUSB's Jack Brown School of Business and Public Administration's Business Alliance. Welcome.
Woohoo! Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Are you ready for this heat wave?
It's hot, hot, hot.
I
was expecting to play that song.
Right?
Yeah, it is going to be a cooker.
It is going to, I didn't want to be, cliched and play, it's getting hot in here, or hot, 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 or, whatever.
Yeah, my grass is already starting to fry a little bit, and so I was okay, time to turn the sprinklers up just a smidge.
Yeah.
And I thought I was doing so well with the watering this year. Grass is green, but this is our first heat wave.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I watered the lawn double, like twice the length and 2 days in a row. And don't normally do 2 days back to back.
Well, okay.
But I'm trying to get it ready for this heat wave.
Oh, it's going to kill it.
Yeah.
Man, it is something. But looking forward to it. It's a weekend. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Woo-hoo!
So what's going on in the world of business?
Going on in the world of business, there's always things. Interest rates went up this week, the short-term rates. Now, this is interesting. A lot of people don't really they hear about the Fed raising their rates, okay? And that is the rate. The rate they raise is the rate that banks borrow from the Fed. So what happens then is if a bank borrows from the Fed, and a lot of banks do, it's not a bad thing. They borrow because they then lend out money, and that's the whole point of lowering the Fed funds rate so banks can borrow more. It's more profitable for them. But if a bank is a heavy borrower, it raises their costs. But if they're not, then any incremental increase in the rates will go right to the bottom line, because if you have a bunch of variable rate loans, and those are tied to prime, the prime rate, and that's what you read about all the time. Prime went up 0.25%. Well, the Wall Street Journal prime is what everybody looks at. And when the rates went up this week, 0.25%, that adds to the bottom line of a lot of banks, but it also takes away from the bottom line of a lot of small businesses. And the reason the Fed does that is to, economy may be heating up. Oh, it's a hot day, it's a hot weekend, economy's heating up. I don't think it's overheating. They're just doing it to kind of slow things down. They've tried to do stimulation for the last 8 years. And now, turning the oven up a little bit. Let's see if we can't slow this thing down.
Is the economy really heating up, though? I mean, I see lots of mixed stuff.
I wouldn't say. That's why I think the term "heating up" is not a great word.
Yeah.
But
are there certain sectors?
Unemployment is down.
But does that mean people are just done looking?
Wages just haven't gone up as much as I think people would have. They've gone up. They've compressed. There's a lot of positions going unfilled. There's a shortage of some skilled labor in sectors out here in Inland Empire. You got a lot of warehouse stuff, which is doing well. You see the buildings are still going up. And I was at a customer's this week that these guys do commerce platforms for business to business, and they do it internationally. And so they have an office over in Century City, but they got one in China, have one in Brazil, have one in Chile. And they do commerce platforms for large corporations, not little $100,000 commerce platforms, but like $1.5 million, $2 million. And what they're doing is they're working with companies that are in certain sectors. And in the U.S. here, they have a company that does HVAC. Boy, how topic related is that, right? Heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Right.
That's what HVAC stands for, folks. So, and what they're seeing, what this company's telling them, is Amazon is getting in the distribution business, in the business-to-business side. So far, you and I've only seen business to consumer.
Yeah.
Or you get online, you order something from Amazon, it comes in.
I actually have an Amazon business account, and my client, the project that I'm working on, the staff can log in and order their stuff. I just need to approve it, and then it'll ship to the warehouse at Cal State San Bernardino. It's really nice.
There you go. I did not know that. So their concern is from this HVAC company, and it's a $15 billion company, is Amazon's going to take over the distribution of business stuff like plumbing equipment, like air conditioning stuff.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it's just kind of the next stage for these guys. And he says, man, they have just started to scratch the surface of what they can do on the B2B side. So you have various sectors kind of retrenching, thinking about what they're doing, looking to the future. How do we combat, or not combat, but how do we compete against companies like Amazon, and the other big guys that are getting into that environment. Really fast. And you listen to this guy talk, you go, wow, they have just scratched the surface on the internet sales process.
Wow.
A lot of stuff going on in that regards. I mean, technology is really taking over the way. I don't know, it's taking over, but it's making things a lot easier. And I think I mentioned maybe a month or two back, I was at a tech seminar, and the gal from the LA Times talked about specifically targeting on Facebook. There was a weight loss program that does hypnotherapy, and how through Facebook they're able to target down 801 users within a 10-mile radius on that. And so what then? Is that a dial tone?
Oh, we're good.
Man,
That's bizarre. Hang on.
interesting.
Yeah.
But that's not on the anyway. So he said they'll be able to take the data and just crunch it and crunch it and crunch it, so you know specifically who you're targeting, either by their profile on Facebook, by the usage on Google, by the usage on their ISP, and it's just going to be incredible the way that you can target your market, whether it's on the business side or whether it's on the consumer side.
Wow.
So technology is really the next the next phase, and it's been the next phase for probably 15, 20 years. But it's got wheels. It will keep going.
Yeah, it's hopping from sector to sector, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we've watched how it's had certain sectors were affected immediately,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we saw bookstores kind of
The low hanging fruit.
yeah. I mean, remember when Amazon started? They were a bookseller,
Yep.
right? I mean, that's what they did, and so
Yeah.
all the bookstores were like, oh my god, and we saw a bunch of them go away, right? As people were buying their books online. And then they went after the music industry, right? And so we've got people
Yeah.
buying their music online, and then
Now they're
and
not the
videos,
low price leader.
videos and video streaming,
Yeah.
and they've taken those industries, and now you're telling us that our HVAC industry better watch out.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really is, and whatever other distribution, the furniture warehouses, because
Yeah.
Amazon's got warehouses, and they have their warehouses set up small, medium, large,
Yeah.
so that they have a warehouse that's like jacuzzis, couches, that's just for big stuff.
Yeah.
And I've never ordered a jacuzzi or a couch from Amazon. Have you you guys ordered any big items from Amazon?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't think about it because you go into the furniture store, you sit on a couch, I'll take that one, and 6 weeks later or 4 weeks later, you get what you want. Maybe Amazon can do it quicker. I don't know. Never done it.
Yeah.
And so you talk about the slicing and dicing. Yesterday's Wall Street Journal: 25 companies that are young, growing, and the talk of technology. And there's one store called Holler Inc. The dollar store concept goes online. The median price of items is $5, and nothing costs more than $10.
Wow.
So what these guys have done, and these guys came from the Honest Company. They came from the 99-cent only store.
Okay.
And they've taken the concept of Dollar General and in the 99-cent only store and saying, hey, what if we do this stuff online? Because those stores, they're at stores. They have nickel and dime. You have dollar. You go to a 99-cent only store. You can pick up. You want something for a corporate event. Don't get it from the promotions person that can put your label on it. You go to a 99-cent only store. At Easter, we were doing a promotion at Easter. I picked up like 10 Easter baskets for $9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't know where else you would go. You buy them at CVS or Save-On for $3 each or $2, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But you just pick up all the stuff. What these guys have done, said, you know what? This is a segment that is not being marketed online.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this stuff, take it online, and sell to their average income of their users is about $50,000 a year. And they're thinking, what's the average purchase going to be? Well, it's like $20, $30.
Yeah, sure.
And that stuff adds up. They got a warehouse in the City of Commerce. These guys have the background for it. They've done it before with the Honest Company and with 99-cent only store. But they've hit the large market for low-priced goods and the consumer shift to online shopping.
So I'm going to stop you right there. It's time for a break.
Good, I was tired.
I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink the Morning Show on KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. We continue our conversation with Adam Russell from Community Bank and the Jack Brown School of Business at CSUSB, their business alliance, and we will be right back.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Alladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply and, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. Cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to getthetea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to getthetea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic, and very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Again, getthetea.com.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Are you an entrepreneur, high achiever, actor, success seeker, or ambitious career professional? The Making It radio show helps hard workers make it through advice, celebrity interviews, inspirational success stories, business and career guidance, and life-changing insights that fuel them in their drive to succeed. Be sure to tune in to Making It on 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM, and streaming online at KCAAradio.com. Right here at KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
KCAA.
Seven women on my mind. Four that wanna own me, two that
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. We continue our conversation with Adam Russell. He is with Community Bank and the CSUSB Jack Brown School of Business and Public Administration's Business Alliance, and he joins us twice a month to talk about business and the economy in the Inland Empire. So I know you're in summer.
Yes.
So what's going on with the Business Alliance? Are you doing anything this summer? Or
Got a planning session coming up in the next month. Let's see, is it June, July, August? We got a planning session coming up. Going to try and raise some money for some more scholarships. Back into the fundraising mode. Going to continue that mentorship program that we had. That was very successful. Had some great kids. You know, that school has some terrific kids.
They really do.
That smart. They're bright. And they all come from this area. Really, really enjoy that. However, in the fall, I am taking a hiatus. I am not teaching in the fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do they call that? They call it. I'm taking a sabbatical.
A sabbatical.
Yeah, taking a sabbatical. So to really sharpen my skills, learn more about the world, I'll take a sabbatical, which is a professorial thing to do. Yes. And I'm going to put on a coat with the arm pad things and smoke a pipe.
And grow a beard.
That's right. Beard. Oh, yeah. You laugh. Man, I can't grow a beard. I cannot grow a beard.
Are we seriously?
Oh no, not a chance. Oh, that would be fun to watch. Yeah. Okay, boy.
So I'm sort of accidentally growing a mustache at the moment because I busted my lip open when I was running this past weekend, and I can't shave because I've got stitches, right? And so the mustache coming in, but it's like all white. It's all gray. Right? Which I had the last time. It's been a couple years since I've grown
It
one,
was red.
and it had some red in there.
Wow.
But I swear
It's
I
all
don't see
gone.
any red at all. It's coming in just white, and I'm like, I'm that old? Oh, my God. What
Yeah,
happened?
we're that old.
What
Okay.
happened?
How old's your kid? Okay.
What happened?
He's like
Right.
in his 20s, right?
Yes, he is. Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
What happened?
Yeah. Man. So yeah, the Business Alliance is on its summer break, and I think we're going to try and see what kind of fundraising activities we can do
Now,
for next year.
So let's talk a little bit about what the Business Alliance offers, because one of the reasons why a business person would join, one, because they feel a connection to the community and they want to help some kids out, but the other two is so they can network with one another, that they can learn from one another. So talk about that a little.
Sure. You know, it's a group of civic leaders, businessmen, business owners that really have in common they want to strive to help really the Inland Empire and Cal State San Bernardino, in particular the College of Business and Public Administration, and help those kids that are in there. It really is a feel-good thing. We give scholarships to about 3 or 4 scholarships a year, ranging anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, depending. We also fund the programs. You know, you go in there, and I see this with my students. I ask them to buy a Texas Instruments calculator application for their phone. It's $15, and they will spend hours trying to hunt down an app that is free, because every dollar means something to these guys, to teach these kids. And we will fund stuff like that. Say we have a teacher that needs, we're doing a psychological profile for the organizational behavior classes, and some of those profiles run $30, $40 per user, and we'll fund that. They'll put in a request for a grant, and the Business Alliance will say, okay, fine, let's fund that program for that class. We fund trips over for the marketing people. There's a marketing class, the entrepreneurial classes that they have, Financial Management Association. These clubs go to places like Vegas, to New Orleans, D.C. Don't think we've had any Hawaii trips. That's good. I better not plant that seed. But you know, we don't fund the whole thing. They've got to raise the money. They've got to show that they want to do that. So if something costs $3,000, maybe we'll contribute $1,000 or $1,500. And what's really funny is that this is the first time for a lot of these kids have been on a plane.
Ah.
Right.
You know, and one of my students, I got a internship in D.C. This year, and she had to leave school 2 weeks early because the internship started something like end of May. And she goes, yeah, I've never been on a plane. I said, really? She goes, yeah, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, you know, I just tell her, from my years of being on planes all the time, you know, don't wear flip-flops, okay? Just don't wear flip-flops. That's my thing. If you're traveling, you don't wear flip-flops, right?
Although it sure makes it easier going through security.
It does, okay, until you stub your toe, and now you're not happy on the plane with a stub toe. That's my thing. Closed toe shoes.
I like a slip-on, like a deck shoe kind of a thing
absolutely.
for a guy. Yeah,
absolutely. It may make it convenient, but then with the 3-ounce container thing. Do you have to take your laptop? Can you take your laptop?
You still can take it, but I think they're getting ready to change that rule. So
which is crazy. Their business flyers will revolt.
Yeah.
Well, some people would say the business flyers are revolting.
But ting. But they will. I mean, how many people are on those planes, especially during the week, with their laptops on their laps?
Okay, so if it's there was I was listening to a podcast, and the gal was saying, you want to be an entrepreneur, find out something that's really crappy for you, and see if it's crappy for everybody else. Or if maybe you're just the one that's like really sensitive, okay? So is there an opportunity here? So if they cancel this, is there a laptop rental service on the plane? Is there a laptop storage? Is there a service that will, you brought your laptop and you forgot, now you got to take it home? Is there something there? Because it's going to be crappy for someone. If they can't take a laptop on a plane, what is the substitute?
Yeah.
No,
you're right. You're right.
I don't know. That's a void.
It is.
Unless you're going to have a screen in front of you, actually go back to watching movies.
So
which you could do.
My airplane experience going to Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago was the best airplane experience I've had ever. We flew Virgin.
United.
We flew Virgin American.
I would have guessed Virgin. They're very
and
good.
I tell you, every seat back had the screen in front of it. In the arm of the chair was a little controller, and the kids could play free video games, my students that flew with me, and they could watch movies, they could listen to music. All the stuff was interconnected, and they understood that kids want to have something in their hand. And so they had this controller, which had like a little keypad on there where you could actually have the full keyboard, and kids could message each other. So I had kids sitting in different seats, and they want to chat to their friend. They could send a little message.
That's cool.
Through the internal messaging system of their friend who's, a row back.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Virgin is but this is years ago, but we went to Europe on Virgin Atlantic, and I felt I was flying business class. At the end of the trip, I'm full. Okay, I got enough food, thanks. It was that kind of service. It was like flying back in the 70s and 80s.
Sweet.
Well, 70s, really, because the 80s started kind of, the deregulation kicking in, things started going. You used to get, I was telling my students, you used to get playing cards on a plane.
That's right, you did.
I have Pan Am playing cards. You got little, when I was 5 or 6 years old, got a little model airplane. Who knew?
Wow.
And now you're happy to get a biscuit.
Yeah. Now you get charged. You get a charge.
You're happy to not get thrown off the plane.
Virgin is fantastic. I didn't know about the electronic stuff on there.
I was blown away.
So we are out of time for this segment. As always, Adam, it's a delight to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. I'd like to be here.
Let people know how they can follow you and find you on social media.
Best way is LinkedIn. That's my social media platform of choice. Just enter in Adam Russell at Community Bank. I will pop up. I'm going to try and get a new photo in there. It's starting to get a little aged. It's like, that's not your profile. I feel like I'm like on the dating website, right? I'm 10 years younger than I am. So, Adam Russell on LinkedIn. And send me a link, and we'll connect.
Just imagine the picture of him with the gray mustache, and there you go.
There you go. Hey, look, on finance, Amazon is buying Whole Foods.
Really?
Just came on the on my little laptop.
Your alert
thing.
Wow.
iPad.
So with that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Sharon Reed. Vice President Mike Pence now has an outside attorney to help him respond to inquiries by special counsel Robert Mueller in the Russian meddling probe. The lawyer is former federal prosecutor Richard Cullen, who was once also a Virginia attorney general. The two escaped inmates wanted for killing a pair of prison guards in Georgia are now in custody. Tennessee Highway Patrol spokesman Bill Miller says Donnie Russell Rowe and Ricky DuBose were captured following a car and foot chase in Tennessee.
They were attempting to carjack or steal another vehicle from that residence. At that point in time, the homeowner stepped out and held the people there by gunpoint until another neighbor came to assist him.
Authorities say those inmates killed the two guards and took their weapons as they escaped from a corrections bus earlier this week. And GOP Congressman Steve Scalise has a new trophy. Democrats won the annual congressional baseball game, but presented the winning trophy to GOP members to give to the hospitalized Majority Whip. Sharon Reed, NBC News Radio.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Ontario on the 15 southbound at the 10, an off-ramp has reopened on the 15 south connector to the 10 east. That's all we have so far on the board this morning. Drive carefully out there. I'm Erin Brinker. This is KCAA, and we are the station that leaves no listener behind.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this morning, we can expect a sunny, hot day with a high of 100 as winds gust to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, it'll be clear with a low of 64 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Saturday, we'll have a heat advisory in effect through Wednesday. It'll be sunny with a high of 98 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Saturday night, it'll be clear, a low of 64 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Sunday's high should reach the century mark under sunny skies. It'll be clear Sunday night, a low of 63. Monday looks to be sunny with a high of 102. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM. 3-in-1, the trifecta of talk in Southern California.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of Free Dump Day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill. No hazardous or construction materials will be accepted. To find out the times and places for Free Dump Day, Google City of San Bernardino calendar. If you're looking for something fun, interesting, and free to do, the City of San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum is open every Saturday from 10 till 3. Schedule a group tour by calling 909-888-3634 and learn some fascinating firsts about San Bernardino. That number again, 909-888-3634. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez.
The Colton Cement Plant is closed and the rail yard is expanding. Find out what's happening next in the Colton City News. Get more local news, local features, and a great calendar section full of local events for your family. The Colton City News, in print and online at coltoncitynews.com.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So excited to welcome to the show Corey London. She is with the American Lung Association, and with the heat wave generally comes poor air quality. So she's going to talk to us about that. Corey, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about this advisory that the American Lung Association put out.
Sure. So we put out an advisory just letting people know to be cautious about their outdoor activity, especially if they have some type of lung disease or if they have children who are very young. The air quality right now is unusually poor because of the heat, and so we see an increase in ozone or smog as the temperatures start to rise, and so we wanted to just let people know to protect themselves and how to protect themselves and just be aware of the air quality.
So you have a color-coded system for air quality. Can you explain that to our listeners, and what color are we at right now?
Sure. So, yes, the American Lung Association actually has a really neat app that people can find. It's called State of the Air, so they can download that if they have an iPhone or Android. And that State of the Air app ranks the air quality from good to hazardous. So yesterday, I believe we were in the unhealthy range for ozone, and we're advising people if they're going to go outside and exercise and do activities to do so in the early morning or later in the afternoon when the ozone levels are lower. So right now the ozone level, I just checked my app, is around 9, which is good. It's in the green area. But it's projected to raise up to 161. So that's 161 parts per billion of ozone.
Oh, my gosh.
And yes, and so that is very unhealthy. So you can see how as the day goes on, it gets warmer, how the ozone really increases. So again, we're just advising people to really be cautious of that. That's why the app is really handy. People can check throughout the day what are their ozone levels, what are the particulate pollution levels in their area.
Wow. Now, do kids like to play outside? And so if you've got a child that has asthma, or just, maybe they don't have asthma but the air quality is bad, what do you suggest?
We suggest that, you keep your kids inside, play with them inside, but we understand, kids like to get out. So again, using the time in the later afternoon. We know that parents are busy in the morning getting ready for school and work, but try to play with your kids in the afternoon. Usually schools are pretty good about that too. So indoor activities are really good. And then if your child or you have an older adult in your family who suffers from a chronic lung disease like asthma or COPD, to really just keep an eye on them as we have some of these more increased air pollution days.
Now, I like to get away when it's hot. So like yesterday, I took a little beach trip. And
he's a marathon runner.
And I'd like to, I'm going to go running today, maybe up in the mountains. Are those locations better generally for air quality, or is it the same, or how does the location change the air quality?
Well, in the inland region, because we are in the valley, a lot of the smog and our ozone pollution does settle in this area, and a lot of people think that the mountains are much better when it comes to air quality, but actually the mountain areas also have high ozone levels. So going up to the mountains isn't going to necessarily protect you. So I just think if you live in the inland region in general, right now, to just be cautious and monitor your air quality.
So he may be going back down to the beach.
Yeah. Well,
right, and if you are going to exercise outdoors, avoid high traffic areas like busy roads and freeways.
Yeah. No, my thinking is you mentioned in the morning, like as soon as our show's over, I want to get up to the mountains while it's still cool to run, because I don't want to run in the heat. So, and it stays cooler up there a little bit longer just because of the altitude. So.
Right. And that is better.
So how do people learn more about the American Lung Association? And I'm on your website right now, and you have a walk that happens in November to raise money for the American Lung Association. Talk about, I'm totally putting you on the spot because I didn't ask you this in our prep, but can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so the walk is a great way to support the American Lung Association, but it's also a great way to support anybody in your family, or if you have friends who suffer from lung disease. We put this walk together every year to really recognize and celebrate our family and friends who are suffering from some type of lung disease. And in the work that I do with the American Lung Association, you'd really be surprised on how many people's lives are impacted by lung disease, whether it's asthma, COPD, pulmonary fibrosis. And so that walk is to raise money for the American Lung Association, to increase research for lung cancer and other lung diseases, but again, to really celebrate and memorialize the people who are currently living with a lung disease or who have unfortunately passed away from a lung disease. So we hold it in Ontario. Again, it is in November, and so it's a really great event. If people want to find out more, they can go to lung.org.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And
again, everybody should really download the State of the Air app and go to lung.org. There's some really great information about how you can get involved at the local level and improve your air quality.
That I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to do it right now. So thank you so much, Corey London from the American Lung Association. For more information, go to lung.org. Did I get that right? Lung.org. And
yes, and it's Corey Goldman. Sorry.
Oh. Oh, what did I say? Oh, Goldman, not London. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. I wasn't even close. I apologize. So have a wonderful weekend, and it's time for a break for us. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. We'll be right back.
Crashing on me for some reason, but your love keeps on coming like a thunderbolt. Well, come here a little closer.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. Our pollen de fleur is on special. Natural support for the bladder, prostate, urinary, immune, and menopausal health. Pollen de fleur is a non-solvent flower pollen extract from rye pollen. Flower pollen extracts contain high levels of amino acids, antioxidants, and phytosterols. Pollen de fleur also delivers bioflavonoids, key help if you're waking up at night to urinate. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447. That's 800-370-3447. And you can visit us online at qnlabs.com. That's qnlabs.com. Experience nutrition that really works.
Inland Body and Paint is a family-owned and operated fleet collision and repair shop that's proud to live in and help our community. Bring your heavy-duty trucks and or equipment to their Fleet Collision and Paint Center in Fontana for expert collision repair services. With 35 years of experience, you're sure to receive quality workmanship at an excellent price from Inland Body and Paint Center. From fiberglass repairs to quality painting, they'll take care of your truck and equipment from top to bottom in their new 64-foot spray booth. By the way, Inland Body and Paint of Fontana repaired and repainted the KCAA truck, and they can do the same job for your car, truck, or heavy-duty equipment. Inland Body and Paint, dedicated to the community and to your satisfaction. Call them today to learn what they can do for you. You can find Inland Body and Paint on Valencia in Fontana. Call them at 909-434-0466 or online at inlandbodyandpaint.com.
This is Pastor Greg from Chosen Generation Radio Show, heard right here on KCAA, 1 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do any of these sound familiar? Not sleeping well, waking up tired, drinking more coffee than usual, can't stay focused, craving sugary drinks and snacks, feel like you're stuck on a treadmill, having trouble managing your weight, not sick but not firing on all cylinders? Any one of these could mean that you might have a system overload, and Thyrodrenal might just be right for you. Think about it. You've probably been feeling like this for a while. Life has a way of wearing you down, and if you aren't getting the right nutrients, then physical and emotional additional wear and tear will take its toll. Most of us at some time or another could use some nutritional support for our adrenal and thyroid glands to bring things back in balance. Our bodies respond well to optimal nutrition to keep daily energy levels up and stress levels down. Try Thyroidrenal from Michael's Naturopathic Programs, a nourishing support formula with vitamins, minerals, and herbs to put back what life takes out. Look for Michael's on the label. We're serious about good health. Thyroidrenal is available at leading health food stores nationwide. If you don't see it on the shelf, then ask for it by name. Thyroidrenal.
Get your earplugs ready for the next rave at the Orange Show. Find out when in the calendar section of the Grand Terrace City News. You can also catch local education, business, and sports and entertainment news in print and online at grandterracecitynews.com. The Grand Terrace City News, local news you use.
This is KCAA.
Sweetness, I was only joking when I said I'd like to.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So glad to have you with us today. And in addition to all the ways that I just said, you can listen to us at kcaaradio.com. Not only us, but obviously all the other shows on the station. You can follow the station on Facebook at facebook.com/KCAA Radio. You can follow our show at facebook.com/KCAA Morning Show. You can follow me at I'm Erin Hunt Brinker on Facebook. I'm at Erin Songbird on Twitter, and I am Erin Brinker on Instagram.
And I'm Tobin Brinker on Facebook.
There you go. There you go. So Sunday is Father's Day.
Yay! It's my day.
It's your day. It's your and your son is taking you to a ball game.
He is. You know, it's
your son. Our son is taking you to a ball game.
No, on Sunday he's mine. No, you know, Father's Day is a great holiday, and it's a great opportunity for fathers and their children to spend some time together. And I know that some people get really sort of anxiety out of what to do, right? Maybe you've got that dad and you're not quite sure what to do. And so we wanted to provide people with a list of ideas, you know, suggestions of things you could possibly do. And Reader's Digest created this, and I love their first item on the list is fishing, right? And I actually have a great memory of my dad when we were younger going on a fishing trip. But the part of the reason I love it is they actually give a little tip, and I want to share it with our listeners right now.
Okay.
So use WD-40 to spray your lures. Spray your lures with WD-40. It attracts fish and masks human odor that can scare them off. I had no idea. So
either.
Add your WD-40 to your fishing tackle box, and you're good to go.
You know, I used to run a bait shop, and I didn't know that. Of course, that was 20 more years ago.
Yeah. Now, number 2 on the list is one that I would have done as a kid, and I would definitely do as a dad. And in fact, I actually, when our son was just before he was learning to drive, I tried to get him to do this, and he wouldn't go with me. But go-karts. Go-karts.
And we have there's an indoor go-kart center
near our house.
In San Bernardino.
SBRaceway.com, I believe, is their website. And they've actually got a really cool indoor track. And, yeah, that's a great thing for a father and their kids.
And it's going to be hotter than hot on Sunday. And so go to that indoor track. You might even need to make reservations. I would call them and get some information.
Yes. Now, my son actually suggested that we do this next one, which is paintball. And I've done it before, not with my son, but with my brother when we were younger. And while I had fun, I learned a lot and was so sore and tired at the end of the day, I've decided it's not something I really want to do again. And what I learned primarily was that if you're not a regular, if you're not a guy who has your own paintball gun and your supplies, that you're basically, you're the target, the moving target for the guys that are really good at this. And so you're out there with your little rental gun, and you're just learning how to shoot, and you get hit like
pummeled
1,000 times.
Yes.
I mean, these guys, and they're just sitting back with their sniper rifles that they've perfected over years of ownership and practice, and they're hiding in the wilderness.
Are you a little traumatized?
I'm a little traumatized. And I realized I paid money to be somebody else's target.
Oh, that's great.
So it's a fun adventure.
If you like that sort of thing, it's a fun thing to do.
It can be a fun thing to do.
Now the next one is completely up your alley.
Oh, this one is totally on my list here. Beer tasting, right? Beer tasting. I would go beer tasting with my kids any day of the week. Let's go do that. In fact, I'm looking forward to the beer fest at the Orange Show. I've gone every year since they've done it. and it's coming up in July. And, yeah, I love beer tasting. That's my thing. Let's do that.
It's kind of a no-brainer. Take Dad to buy him some beer.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get beer at the ball game.
I think so, actually. And actually, the place we're going to go to lunch beforehand is a brew place. So
microbrewery?
Microbrewery. J.T. Schmidt's right next to Angel Stadium, and I'm looking forward to that. So we'll have some libations and then go into the game.
So the next one is an amusement park. So how would you feel about that?
I would like an amusement park. It just depends. I would prefer to, if I'm going to go to an amusement park, I would prefer to do one like Knott's Berry Farm or a Disneyland or one of the bigger ones, like going to like a Castle Park or a Scandia or something like that. Maybe not as much because those rides are really more designed for the little kids.
Our kids loved Castle Park.
Oh, they did.
They loved Castle, but it was really for them. I mean, it was for younger than high school.
Exactly, and I didn't feel like the rides were really designed for people like me.
Yeah, I wouldn't even buy tickets because, like to pay for the fee, I would just kind of walk with the kids because once they got a little older and they can go on a ride by themselves.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna go to one of these places, I want to be able to go on rides that are fun for me. So that's what I'm saying. I would go to a big park. Take me to Knott's Berry Farm. That's my favorite, right there. Let's go to Knott's.
So the next one on the list is golf.
Now, I'm not really a golfer, but I'll tell you that when I have gone, it's usually something that I do with my dad or my brother. And, we have fun. None of us are good golfers. None of us regularly golf. And we just go out. It's kind of a nice, if you get a good weather day and you go walk around out there in the green grass and hit the ball. And we usually get some drinks. And you can have fun. It can be fun. But that would not be top of my list. But maybe for some folks.
Okay, so this one is totally off the wall, and I never would have thought about it. Battle reenactment.
Okay. Now, I'm a history teacher, and I would actually love to do something like this, but I'm not sure that this is something that would be available to very many people, right?
Well, I think it depends on where you live.
Yeah, but even so, it's not like something you can just say, I'm showing up on Father's Day to do battle reenactment.
Right. You have to plan it.
Yeah, these are usually things that you've spent months and months. You had to get your uniform and your weapon, and you had to practice and learn about the battle, and, yeah, I mean, these things are very choreographed, and, I think it'd be fun. Oh, I would definitely love to do something like that. I'm just not so sure that's a Father's Day one-off event,
Sports. Now, this is on the list, like the baseball game.
Yes.
Tickets to his favorite sporting event are pretty much always a winning idea.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. Baseball, this is baseball season. Both Dodgers and Angels have stuff going on for Father's Day. Both are playing home on Father's Day. They have Father's Day giveaways. They've got all kinds of stuff. So both of those would be good options. Plus, we have all these local teams. I'm sure they've got some games going, too, with the AAA and whatever. Just take a look at it,
Yep. The next one on the list is camping. Not for you.
I'm not a big fan of camping. That's not my thing. My wife wants to go camping, so maybe a Mother's Day camping trip. But for Father's Day, let's go stay in a nice hotel near a campground and look at the campers and laugh about it.
So for those who don't like camping, there's the spa day.
Thank you, which is the next one. Of course, they instead of saying spa day, what do they say? They say handsome.
Handsome, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly. But, I wouldn't mind getting a good massage or, they mentioned here professional shave. My son and I did this once. We went to, like, the old-style barber, right?
Uh-huh, and
we got the hot shave, right? So they put
with the straight razor.
And then afterwards they put the hot towels on, and you just sit there in the chair for a while, Very, very cool experience. I think our son really enjoyed that. I know I did. Yeah, very different.
Well, and you enjoy getting pedicures, and you're because you run so much, your feet get pretty beat up.
They do, and so to get that nice pampering every now and then, very nice.
The next one on the list is car show, and this is something for the Inland Empire, which really, really has a car culture. All of Southern California does, but because Route 66 cuts through the Inland Empire. We're really pretty much a car area.
So there is actually a really cool car show going on Father's Day in Los Angeles. If you don't mind driving down to Rodeo Drive, they have some of the hottest, like, fancy cars, like the super mega wealthy, your Maseratis,
your Bugattis,
and your Rolls Royces, and I mean they're going to have like spectacular cars for this car show, and so if that's your thing, you want to go see some really hot cars. You can go down to Rodeo Drive on Father's Day.
The final suggestion on the list, it says history, and it's check with your local library or historical society and ask if tours are available of their stacks and archives. Sorry, I want to sneeze, but it's not happening. Many organizations will be happy to show you a behind-the-scenes look at your town history. Quiz Dad to see if he knows fascinating facts about your region.
So again, I'm a history guy, and I will tell you that all of the local communities have really good historical societies. San Bernardino has a spectacular one. Colton and Rialto both do as well.
Redlands does as well.
Redlands does as well. And these are people who've dedicated their lives to preserving the history of their community. They put on programs, right? So you can come and hear speakers and find out more about the history of your community. And some of it can be really odd and interesting stuff. I remember going to one at the San Bernardino Historical Society where they had a guy talking about the water history, right? And it was fascinating to hear the history of water in the region and the guys who originally came in and how they built the water systems that we also sort of take for granted today. And actually made a lot of money off of it, and one guy actually went to China to sort of figure out their technology and then came back and built some pretty cool water systems here in the inland region.
So speaking of water systems, seeing pictures, I saw somebody posted online pictures of San Bernardino from the early 1900s, and at the time, Urbita Springs was an actual lake.
Yes.
And there were lakes through the area. They had a 20-year drought. It all dried up. People built houses, and as the water table fills up, the basements would flood. And I'd heard stories about basements flooding,
Right.
but I'd never seen pictures of Urbita Springs. I'm like, why is this area called, why do they talk about Urbita Springs? Because I've never seen any water. Anyway, it was fascinating. And then I think, even it had been 20 years, why in the world would you build a home in a lake bed?
Well, it's interesting. We're not the only ones that do that. The whole city of Mexico City is built on top of a lake. And it actually started all the way back with the Aztecs, who basically began terraforming the lake. They started out on a little island in the lake and began sort of covering it over with more and more land as they needed to grow crops, putting dirt on top of the water, and eventually the lake became covered over. And so the whole city of Mexico City today is built on top of a lake. And we've done something similar. The Inland Center Mall is on top of Urbita Springs.
Wow.
We just covered it over.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, but, you need the land, and, we have water available. The water's there. It doesn't go away.
Interesting. Civil engineering is a wonder to me. It really is.
Yes, it is.
So we are out of time. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. Spoil your dad or your husband this weekend. Have a great weekend, everybody.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Jed Lesher, CNBC Radio. The futures are pointing to a lower opening on Wall Street this morning. Just announced Amazon will buy Whole Foods for $42 a share and an all-cash transaction valued at nearly $14 billion. Snapshots of the real estate industry are out today. Both housing starts and building permits fell about 5% in May. A new poll shows that nearly half of Americans surveyed by the AP say they want to take a summer vacation this year, but they can't afford it. Disney CEO Bob Iger workers in China at Shanghai Disneyland to celebrate the park's first anniversary. President Trump is in Miami to roll back some of America's new travel freedoms and business dealings with Cuba. That's not going to make airlines, cruise lines, hotel chains, and even tech firms happy. And McDonald's now has guacamole. It will top Mickey D's new signature-crafted recipes line. Again, the stock futures are lower. John Lesher, CNBC Radio.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is having our biggest Craftsman sale of the year, just in time for Father's Day. Now through Monday only, find over $600 in savings on our best Craftsman products throughout the store, including hand tools, power tools, tool chests, outdoor power equipment, and more. Hurry in now for the biggest Craftsman sale of the year, only at your local Ace. Sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores and include instant savings for Ace Rewards members. See store for details.
Want to feel like a total boss? Then switch to the best deal in America, Total Wireless. With Total Wireless, you get America's largest, most dependable network plus 5 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited talk and text for only $35 a month. Whoa, how did you get all that? Oh, that's right. You're totally a total boss, and you never sign a contract. Total Wireless, total confidence. Available at Walmart. Always refer to the latest terms and conditions of service at totalwireless.com.
NBC News Radio, I'm Sharon Reed. Russia's looking into whether it might have killed the leader of ISIS. It says one of its airstrikes last month struck a meeting of ISIS leaders in Syria that included Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. U.S. military officials say they have no information so far confirming that claim. The Twitter attacks over the Russia investigation continue coming from the White House. The president's tweeted, quote, after 7 months of investigations and committee hearings about my, quote, collusion with the Russians, nobody has been able to show any proof. Sad. The annual congressional baseball game is in the books. The game took place a day after a gunman opened fire on Republican lawmakers in Alexandria, Virginia. The wife of the Belleville, Illinois man involved in that shooting, Suzanne Hodgkinson, is apologizing and says she had no idea what her husband James was going to do.
I was shocked, and I heard it through an ABC reporter on the phone.
House Majority Whip Steve Scalise was critically injured and remains hospitalized. Sharon Reed, NBC News Radio.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Yucaipa on the 10 westbound at Live Oak Canyon Road, an overturned car is blocking the off-ramp. In Corona on the 91 westbound at McKinley Street, a large bag of trash is in the left lanes. There's slow traffic from Pierce, and traffic stays busy out to Green River Road. The 71 south is heavy from Euclid to the 91. And in Ontario on the 15 southbound at the 10, an earlier crash has been cleared from the off-ramp. The 15 south, this is the 15 south connector to the 10 east. This has been your KCAA traffic. We are the stations that leave, no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker. This report has been brought to you by Unbound.org. What is the education of your child worth? There are children across the world who lack the privilege of going to school. Change the story for one child at Unbound.org.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this morning, we can expect a sunny, hot day with a high of 100 as winds gust to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, it'll be clear with a low of 64 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Saturday, we'll have a heat advisory in effect through Wednesday. It'll be sunny with a high of 98 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Saturday night, it'll be clear with a low of 64 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Sunday's high should reach the century mark under sunny skies. It'll be clear Sunday night, a low of 63. Monday looks to be